daily check-in with all of you, and it's really exciting. I love this idea that we can connect through this digital means, and even if we are far away and in different part of the world, we can just connect so live. Isn't that amazing? And yeah, so anyway, thank you for being here. If you don't know me, I'm Chiara Pavone, and I'm a certified executive coach and former senior executive at FTSE 100 company. And today I would like to share with you why growth and change feels so hard. And I was just thinking, maybe I should actually put on my headset. Maybe you're going to hear me better. Let me just do that quickly. My computer is doing a lot of noise in real life, right? So we can understand that I have this beautiful little microphone. Yeah, so maybe you can hear me better now. Let me know if you can hear me better, if that works better for you. So we're going to talk about why growth is so hard and why change feels so hard. Now, before we dive in, if you haven't already, and I wonder why you haven't already, you gotta download my 5 steps to take control back over your life. And what we're gonna talk about today is the fundamental principle on how to apply actually that planner, that guide, that finisher formula in a more effective way. So go to vault.chiarapavone.com/finisher formula. I'm also gonna link put the link here in the notes. So go grab it. It's free. It's downloadable, and you can just refer back to it every week, every day you're planning your day. It's a really fantastic practice that you can start implementing as a new habit in your life. So we're going to talk about growth. So growth is not something that we do naturally. It's not something that comes spontaneously. And there is a big reason for it. And it blew my mind when I found out about this, because I don't know, maybe you're ahead of me and you knew it already before me, but I found out about this like maybe a couple of years ago, and it just blew my mind. Like, why didn't anybody tell me about it before? It's such an important thing that you really want to be exposed to it earlier in life, so that you can address it in a different way. So the reason why growth is so hard, and the reason why it doesn't come by default to us, it's because this is how our brain is wired. This is what kept us alive for so many times, for so many years, so many decades, so many hundreds and thousands of years. If we leave it to our own brains and bodies, by default, we're going to play small. We're going to be not showing up and achieving the beautiful and amazing things we can achieve in this world. And it's not because there's something wrong with us. It is because of what it's called as the motivational triad. As a species, we have evolved and we have survived by this, thanks to this motivational triad. As humans, we have 3 main goals. We want to seek pleasure. We want to avoid pain, and we want to spend the least amount of effort possible. That is what has kept us alive. So your brain, your primitive brain, will try to convince you all the time that you should seek pleasure, that you shouldn't be uncomfortable, that you shouldn't face things that are hard, and that we should stay safe in the cave and only get out of the cave to get food and to get pleasure, to reproduce ourselves. So that's really what's happening. That's really what our primitive brain is trying to keep us from spending energy that is not necessary for survival. So it has a really important function. We want to respect that. The problem is that this has kept us alive for so long, but now, unfortunately, as a society, is really holding us back. Because we have too much opportunity out there to seek pleasure, and that is actually often false pleasure. And we want to be aware of that, because if we're not forced to survive, right, we don't need to go out and hunt for food. So we don't need to save that energy and sit on the couch and watch Netflix for 6 hours. that is your primitive brain that is telling you, oh, it's so comfortable here. Let's stay here. Let's watch another episode. Let's watch another one, right? Because that is very comfortable. It's very safe. There is no risk involved, but there's also no growth. There is no change when you're sitting there watching Netflix. There is some good programs on Netflix. I'm not advocating against those. But in general, you want to be aware that what's happening is that it's your primitive brain that is holding you back. So this newfound comfort that seems safe, it is actually really a bit the opposite of safe, because it's the effect of survival, and it's really the opposite of what we want to achieve. It's the opposite of what we want to be achieving in our life, and going out and taking risk and being uncomfortable, because we want to grow. We're going to be going beyond ourselves. We're going to be evolving into the next version of ourselves. But if we're listening to our primitive brain, we're going to be really playing small and really feeling also bad about us. You see, we're going to get into this cycle of we're not doing the things that we said we want to do, and then we're going to beat ourselves up because we're procrastinating, because we're pushing things forward. So the way we want to look at our personal motivation and really enforcing and embracing growth in our life is by changing that motivational triad. So instead of seeking pleasure, we want to seek growth. Instead of avoiding pain, we want to embrace discomfort. We want to embrace that sensation of kind of fear that wants us to hold us back, and instead we want to really embrace it. And we want to, instead of spending the least amount of effort and saving it for whatever hunting we have to do, we want to spend effort wisely. We want to look at where do I want to put my energy? What makes sense for me to put energy on, and really be intentional around where are you putting your effort? How are you spending your time and energy? So this is really what I wanted to share with you very, very briefly. And I hope this was triggering. I'm really looking forward to your comments on this and see how it resonates. And just before we leave, before I leave you to your day, if you have not done already, go immediately and download my 5 steps finisher formula. It's a free PDF that you can download and print it if you want to access it. But it's really guiding you towards leveraging what we just talked about today, and seeking growth and seeking your goals, and go after your goals and embrace discomfort as the currency to our dream. So the link is in volt.chiaracavone.com/finisher formula. Again, the link can be found in the show notes. And so have a wonderful day, everyone, and actually a happy Easter for those who celebrate Easter. We're going to be off for a few days, so I'm going to see you next week. Have a wonderful week. Bye.